Hello, I'm Tim Dixon, Professor in Sustainable Futures in the Built Environment, University of Reading. I'm really sorry that we can't be with you today to accept the UAA Award for the Best Book 2022, but it is a real privilege, pleasure and an honour to accept the award, which means so much to me personally, as I'll explain in a moment. So firstly, thank you for choosing the Urban Futures book in this category. I think for me, one of the satisfying things about working on a book of this kind is that you're writing something that you hope will, in some small way, change perspectives and give a different standpoint and provide an evidence base and a set of tools for planners, built environment professionals, communities and other groups to do things differently. And that's really what we've tried to achieve in this book, particularly in the context of planning, future studies, or what we're calling city foresight. And as we still grapple with the remnants of the COVID pandemic, I think it's absolutely vital that we think longer term and envision what sort of urban future we want for our children and grandchildren. And that can only come through co-creation and better visioning, bringing together all stakeholder groups. So we do hope that the book will create a better understanding of how city visions can empower people to think differently about more sustainable futures in our towns and cities, not only in the global north, but also the global south as well. So thank you so much for the award. I'd also like to thank Mark. It's been great working with him on this book. Sir Alan Wilson for his introduction to the book, our brilliant publishers at Bristol University Press, Policy Press, and all of those involved in Reading 2050 and Newcastle Futures. And finally, I'd like to dedicate the award to my family and also my late mum, who was such a fan of Dylan Thomas's work. And if you get a chance to look at the book, you'll see a short reference to this in the preface. So I'll now hand over to Mark, who will say a few words. Thank you.
Well, could I just say how delighted I am to receive this book award with Tim. It's a complete honour to receive such recognition from your peers and from the Urban Affairs Association. I'm sorry that we can't be there in person. With any luck, in a more post-COVID environment, we can start to interact in a face-to-face and transatlantic way as well. The book is meant to provoke debate as much as anything else, as good books hopefully would do. Namely, that we can see there's a new need to reshape our cities in a post-COVID environment, but we need to consider climate change, we need to consider sustainability, we need to think about our governing processes that are used and the methods that we've used up till now to change cities for the better. And also we need a much more inclusive and participatory way of managing change that allow the greatest number of people to have a voice in their own places. It's after all residents and communities that live with the consequence at the very local level of the decisions that are taken by politicians and professionals. And this book is meant to say we can do things better in the future in a much more participatory way, but also a way that sets a roadmap for places in addressing their proactive futures, whatever those circumstances might be. Anyway, that's about the book. I'm sure you'll all read it and react accordingly. But let me repeat that I'm truly honoured to receive this award, and hopefully I look forward to interacting with you and debating about the contents of it in the future. Many thanks once again.